Keith Thurman says he's waiting for the winner of Errol Spence Jr. versus Terence Crawford II for his next fight. What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Cardinal Red, but let's talk about it. Alright, y'all, so Keith One Time Thurman says that he is waiting on the winner of the Spence Crawford rematch for his next opponent. I just want to give my 2 cents on what One Time had to say for anybody listening.
Remember, I always make this statement. There's only a few names of mentioning in boxing. Thurman's name is what? Mentioned in boxing. It was the performance really that made the stocks drop. Barrios got stopped by Tank. Thurman couldn't stop Barrios. Now Thurman is sitting in between. I gotta wait on this fight and I gotta wait on this fight. I ain't messing with Boots because I'm not gonna get what I want. So I gotta make sure I can wait on either Spence or Terence Crawford.
Alright, y'all, so One Time Thurman, bum time Thurman, says he's waiting on the winner of Spence Crawford 2. I just want to, give my analysis on which one of those guys he could possibly beat, and if these long layoffs will actually affect that potential fight. Now, when it comes to which one of those guys could Keith Thurman actually beat? Now, we all know he's had a long-time rivalry with Errol Spence Jr. and has never led to an actual fight. And he's called out Bud Crawford as well over the past few years. Never led to a potential fight. Now, the Errol Spence rivalry actually started from Keith Thurman not giving Errol Spence a shot when he was the younger up-and-coming fighter. And the whole rivalry with him and Terence Crawford has just been, I think, like a rankings rivalry. Keith Thurman was once the number one guy. Now, Terence Crawford and Errol Spence are light years ahead of him in popularity and winning titles and things like that. So, it's like Keith Thurman wants now to clout chase those guys for a big opportunity, and they're kind of just shunning him to the background.
What the hell is going on? You got some trash for me? You ain't got no trash for me, man. Don't be knocking on my door.
So, which one of those two guys could he actually possibly beat? Now, I'm pretty sure 50% of people, especially Terence Crawford fans, would say, well, it's Errol Spence, obviously. Errol Spence just got, trampled on by Terence Crawford, and Terence Crawford made it look pretty easily. And a lot of people have actually started to downgrade Errol Spence.
You feel sorry for me? You feel sorry for me? I'm Rick James! I don't need you! I don't need nobody! I don't need nobody!
Even to the point where they're saying that he doesn't belong in the top 10 of welterweights all time. People are saying he more belongs in the top 25, which doesn't make any sense because he unified 3 of the 4 meaningful titles at 147. So, I don't see how you could place Terence Crawford even above him when Terence Crawford only had to win 1 title to actually get to the pinnacle of welterweight status. He won 1 title and fought Errol Spence to win all the rest of the titles. So how could you say that he deserves a higher ranking than Errol Spence, who actually had to go through 3 seeded champions to actually get to his status? Makes no sense.
Y'all shoot the thrill! I dress chili chill! All you ladies in the house just can't sit still! I'm a sexy shit! I'm a M16 and I'm a 12-gauge lover if you know what I mean! Go funky!
But that's a different argument for a different day. Now, when it comes to Errol Spence and Keith Thurman, who would win that fight? Honestly, if you base it off the Mario Barrios performance and the Terence Crawford performance for Errol Spence, then you would have to say Keith Thurman has a decent enough chance of winning that fight. But as well as, the bad performance by Errol Spence and the Mario Barrios performance, Keith Thurman's been laid off for a very long time. I think he's had like 1 fight in like 5 years, basically since he fought Manny Pacquiao. So if you based it off of that, I would say that Errol Spence obviously has an edge. Now, a lot of people wanted Errol Spence to make Keith Thurman his comeback fight Thurman first, then go fight Terence Crawford. But in my eyes, if he did that, I think a lot of people would chew him up. I don't think the fight would sell well. I think Errol Spence needs a bit of get back to redeem his whole boxing career just based off the performance that he had versus Terence Crawford.
Strawberry?
Now, if you threw Terence Crawford in there with Keith Thurman, how would that end? Listen, I'm not a Crawford fan. I wouldn't call myself a Thurman fan either, but whenever they fight, I do watch it, you know, but I wouldn't say that I'm a fan of either one of those guys. They're good fighters. Terence Crawford, a great fighter of this generation. Keith Thurman, a decent fighter of this generation. But if you threw them in there together, I would say Terence Crawford would probably beat the crap out of Keith Thurman based off his last performance. Now, I know a lot of Thurman fans out there would beg to differ. They would say Thurman can do this and that. Well, if he can actually do this, that, and the third, why hasn't he been doing it against other competition over the past 4 or 5 years? He's basically been inactive, trying to keep himself from getting beat again like he did versus Manny Pacquiao. That way, if he only has one loss, he can have a little bit more negotiating power if he was ever to go into negotiations with Errol Spence or Terence Crawford. You could argue that, hey, I only got one loss on my record. You know, I deserve this, that, and the third. But if he had 2, maybe 3 losses because he's been active against other great fighters of this generation and the last generation or whatever fighters that you throw him in there with, you know, if he has 2 or 3 losses, then his bargaining chips become less and less and less, especially with fighters like Spence and Crawford.
You must have got manure for your brains. All of it, boy.
So, you know, I think he would actually lose to both of those guys. Either one of them you put him in the ring with, I think Keith Thurman goes down to either one of those guys.
How could that be a dream to have somebody tell you what to do for money? You don't mind having somebody tell you what to do for big money, even if you don't like it? What'd that make you? So if you're doing it for money, you're going to be destined to be unhappy because money don't have feelings. Love does. Money, you can't feel money when you die. When someone dies, you still feel it. Love transcends all dimensions. So my focus is love. The money is man-made. It's a distraction.
Y'all let me know what y'all think about all that down in the comment section below. Hit the like button for me. Share. Subscribe. Holler at me on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. But you're more than likely to get a response on the tube, so holler at me over there. If you want to collabo, feature a product or your channel on my channel, feel free to hit my Gmail, because it is a flock of cards at gmail.com.
Yo, I pull up in a throwback car, gray 7-8 with the top that's hard. I'm finna paint it back, send it on black tires. Fuck a backseat, it got its own backyard. Niggas act hard, try to put a Mac card. Stunt in front of they dame, they playing back far. Cause they get their ass kicked in front of they chick. And the niggas that they was with dip, ain't that a bitch? Young keys flow under the weather, come through something real big under the leather. Lil' mama, get your mind out the gutter. I'm talking about that 9, motherfucker. I grind like a hustler. CDs, tapes, the weed, whatever the case may be. I chase that cheese and never ever face defeat. Now watch how I say stampede. Here we go. Niggas know what's up. Sick flow, sick beats, finna blow us up. Thick hoes, thick freaks, finna blow us up. Hit drone, hit sweets, niggas know what's up.
Can't hold me down.
Niggas know what's up.
My click is down.
Niggas know what's up. Niggas know what's up. I pull up with a throwback dime. She says she's 25, she at least 29. But man, them hips on her, lips on her, finna let it rip on her, flip on her, then dip on her. This is for them classy chicks, them undercover nasty chicks, them trashy chicks, ain't scared to flash me quick. Oh, look at that ass, she thick, I can't let you pass me, miss. Off the chain, young keys spitting hot flows off the brain. Holla at me when you're ready to get off the lanes. And on some real shit, I'm the one you deal with, feel me? Run game like Diddy in the marathon. Get shitty, drop 50 on the marijuana. Either give me 4 ducks or a pair of swans. Young keys, S and I dime. Niggas know what's up. Sick flow, sick beats, finna blow us up. Thick hoes, thick freaks, finna blow us up. Hit drone, hit sweets, niggas know what's up.
Can't hold me down.
Niggas know what's up.
My click is down.
Niggas know what's up.